On this week's episode, we take you on a wild ride of competition with Ulice. From strongman powerlifting, mass wrestling, grip wars, college football, and now a passion to pass on the torch, it's no surprise Ulice is conducting superb leadership in his life. Sit back and enjoy the ride as we talk shop a little and laugh a lot. Finally, this episode of the Iron Huddle Podcast is brought to you by Torque Strength and Conditioning. Torque Strength and Conditioning is a great place to work out and offers a variety of programs such as Torque GPP, Torque Barbell, Torque Fit, personal coaching and wellness, and youth and teen development. And we hope you enjoy the podcast.
All right, so you're listening to Sweet Sounds of Weightlifting as we do this podcast here. We are lucky enough today to have Milwaukee's best, Ulice, on. What's your last name, Ulice? Not even...
Payne.
Ulice Payne, okay, the PayneTrain.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a name.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, along with Ulice, we got the Radar Cast characters here, Tyler Ryder, Nick Tadlock, and our guest appearance alongside Ulice PayneTrain is Big Ken. Big Ken is here to give his 2 cents when needed. So, we had a great morning this morning, guys. We all deadlifted. Fen and I were squatting. Nick was doing some deadlifting and coaching. Tyler was doing some benching as usual.
Benching, yep.
And Big Ken and Ulice went for biggest deadlifts ever done here. How much was it, Ulice?
805.
805. That went up way too fast.
Yeah, you pulled that way too fucking fast.
Yeah, it moved a bit faster than I was expecting. Like I said, I hadn't been pulling heavy in a couple weeks, so that was a pleasant surprise.
And what I tell you when you turned around after doing that one rep?
Why didn't you do more?
Yeah, it was that fast, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And Ken gave it a hell of a run right before that, and I think he got a little hitch in it over his knees. But you've been doing like 13-inch, right?
Mostly axle.
Mostly axle?
Yeah, mostly axle and stiff bar. That's the first time I used a bar with whip in a long time.
Okay, it was really good. It was really good. So back to Ulice here, the guest appearance. Can you kind of tell us, so you grew up in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. So fast forward to where we are currently. You want to maybe throw in a few of your sponsors who are helping you out to where you are currently right now? You have a few of them, I know.
Some of my sponsors here, Max Muscle. Their shop's actually not too far down here from this gym. Hosswear, my Hoss family down in North Carolina. My man Gary from Massage Concepts, he does a lot of my body work. And US Cryotherapy, which is also like right here in Woodbury.
Very nice. And you had that awesome Power Belly shirt on today. That was from who?
That was from Hosswear.
That was from
yeah,
Hoss, okay.
They gave me that shirt. That was their newest shirt they just came out with, and they gave it to me when came to see me in Ohio, and it's become my new deadlift shirt.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Just happens to work for you. I'll need to buy a few of those too.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about back to, so right now you've kind of evolved from everything. You've done powerlifting, some strongman, and you're also heavily involved in the Moss Wrestling Champion, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm a Moss wrestling competitor as well.
Okay.
For those of us who don't know what that is, you kind of explain that.
So it's a Russian style of wrestling. It's been around for years, and it's like a variation like tug of war.
Oh, yeah.
You
Okay.
have two guys sitting down on the ground. Your feet are both right on a board. There's a stick, and you have a reverse grip. Either hands on the inside or hands on the outside. Hold it right in the middle, and when the ref says hold, your goal is to either pull the stick out of their hands or pull them to your side of the board.
Okay.
And you can move around the board, you can twist, you can turn. It's the best way to describe it. It's simple but explosive.
Yeah.
So does
Sounds
having
fun.
and you said move around the board, moving side to side lateral,
Yeah,
right?
side
Trying
to side.
opposition.
I mean, even I've been in positions where I get both my feet and I'm turning.
Yeah.
At 90 degrees. So.
And
So
go
is
ahead,
this
Nick.
stick is this like a natural stick, like off of a tree, or is this a dowel, or does this have knurling on it?
No, it's a smooth stick. I don't know the type of wood that it's made. Pretty unbreakable. I've never seen anyone actually break one of the sticks. But it's smooth, so it does require a lot of grip to hold on to it.
Yeah. We might have to try that.
Not against Ulice, but us.
No.
You are currently, you took second, right, in last year's World Championship?
Second in the World Championship, and then I won
Yeah.
the Arnold Classic Moss Wrestling Championship.
Awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
is that the one that Old Housing
Old
runs,
Hauser,
or
yeah, he's
sponsors? Or?
He's the U.S. representative.
Okay.
So he's been bringing it into the U.S.
Yeah.
And he's done a pretty amazing job at it.
And I think from watching, I don't want to give all your secrets away, but watching your matches, it seems like you're kind of a to the right type of guy, right? You bring him over to the right.
Yeah,
or
that's my natural tendency. I used to be just like sit back and pull.
Yeah.
When I first got into it, but the more experience I get, I have a lot of different moves.
Yeah.
But like my go-to is my twist to the right.
Okay. All right. So
what do you do to train for that? What helps with that?
I do have some training partners that help me with it. Two like 300 plus pound guys too that help.
A cow.
Yeah.
A bull.
Yeah, usually like
Find a bear once in a while.
I set it up outside and pull against some trucks.
Hey, we're gonna get your fucking Honda Civic.
But yeah, basically just mobility. I'd say for the heavyweight guys is the biggest key. So keeping like my hips and back mobile, keeping the grip strength strong.
Yeah.
Doing some drills where I like set it up against the squat rack and pull against every single band in the gym.
Okay. Do you ever do like immovable object pulls, like just pull against like
big cat.
Well, yeah, that works too. But like just like a power rack where it can't move, so you just get a lot of torque through the. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. Where I'm just pulling as hard as I can, and then all upper back work.
Okay.
Like heavy rows, heavy pull downs.
Do you think that being a good deadlifter correlates to mass pulling or not?
It can. It doesn't always. And I've even seen it like in person, like at the World Championships. I saw a guy whose best deadlift was like 660.
Wow.
Beat a guy who can pull 880.
Oh shit.
So that was like my first experience. I'm like, okay, having a good deadlift doesn't always mean, because like we talked about before, like the position you have to be in is such an uncomfortable one, an awkward one, that if you don't know how to correlate all of your force, you're not going to be able to pull. You're not going to be able to squeeze as tight as you can.
And that's a lot of like, I've seen some of the not injuries but cramping when you get beat.
Oh, yeah.
You do it, like the stomach cramping. Guys are getting up and trying to like brace that. It's got to be the worst ever.
I have had stomach cramps during matches.
Oh Jesus!
So then
is it like the top part, the
right
rectus
yeah,
part?
top,
Right?
it's either
Dude, that's
top
so
or
bad.
even like right
Looks
in the
like
bottom.
there's a claw coming out of
Yeah,
your
there's
stomach.
like a
And all you
ball.
can do is wait.
No,
right?
Well, most of the guys, then it goes to like, okay, just like in most sports, you need pain tolerance. Like I literally sometimes will have like, all right, I got to beat this guy before the cramp sets in.
Did you ever see like? Does anyone have any abdominal tears from that ever?
No. And even too, the injuries are rare if you have your proper technique. So
For
like
sure.
one thing that when I coach people, you have to keep your arms straight. To where I even tell people, like, imagine pressing, like locking your arms out, because I've seen guys where they get a little like soft arms, and then their bicep like it can't go.
Yeah.
Like at the Arnold, the guy he did have great guy, but he had his left arm a little too loose.
Okay.
And right away, boom, bicep went.
That's the biggest.
Because the moment you start pulling, like, even if you're new to it, you will pull like with everything you got.
So did you do this last year's most recent Arnold or last year's?
This year's Arnold, the
Did
2019
you
Arnold.
pull against Larry Wheels at all?
No, I never got a chance
Okay,
to.
that would have been fun for you, just to bigger name guys.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun. I think the cool thing about the sport too, it's like we were talking earlier, the cultural history they have for, with sumo wrestling, you have to have a shirt off, you're wearing that diaper looking thing. Watching your matches, you would like take some confidence, take your shirt up there and pull.
Yeah.
Those bunch of big guys, their shirts off, just pulling. That's kind of different too.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like the first Arnold I did for Moss. I didn't know that.
Oh shit, I'm
That
out
was a
here.
rule, and it's like no, like they will tell you like when you walk on stage, like no, take your shirt off.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
It's cool for like the lightweight guys. They're cool just showing off.
So how many of these do you do in a day?
They're all tournament brackets.
Yeah.
So the most I've done, I think, was when I did the World Championship. I had 5 matches in a day.
Fuck, I bet that's
It's gotta
tiring.
take a lot out of you.
It can, because even like the short matches, people watch my videos and they, like you pulled him over easily. Like, yeah, but for those few seconds, I was
explosive.
like, I'll be dripping sweat because I was pulling with everything I could.
Yeah, all that like body tension and
Yeah.
that, even though it was a few seconds. That's,
Like
we
guys would be
talking
out of
about
breath after a match.
What did you? So that's a good point, because a lot of the videos that I've seen of yours posted and other matches, there's usually good technique involved where they're moving left to right or however you beat someone, but they're usually over within like 5 seconds, right?
Some
Do
of them,
matches
yeah.
sometimes go much longer than that?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Especially with guys who are even in terms of level.
Yeah.
Like in Russia, my longest match was the semifinals against the Serbian world champ. He was 500 pounds.
Oh,
Jesus.
Lord.
And both of our matches went from like 45 to 60 seconds.
Seriously?
Yeah,
And did you beat this guy?
I did.
Wow.
How
Yeah.
tall is this cat?
I think he's about 6'6", 6'7".
Jeez. So
That's
do you
a big
think
man.
your strengths in mass wrestling, is it, obviously if you're getting outweighed by somebody, I'll say your weight might be a factor, but is it your grip strength from your strongman lifting, you think, that helps you a lot? Your back
Absolutely.
strength?
Like my grip, I've never had the stick ripped out of my hand.
Wow, okay.
So grip strength, and then saying like back and hamstring strength, and then even like timing, that's helped me, that I've gained from like playing football.
Yeah.
Like right off the whistle, because
Okay.
the ref's hands is right over
Yeah.
the stick, and the moment he lifts it,
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
So like because I was a lineman, so
Yeah.
basically going right off the whistle
Yep.
is how the mindset I have.
Very cool.
Just like I was a guard, so the moment I see that hand start to move, I'm pulling as hard as
You're
I
gone.
can.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're out. Yeah, welcome to the club. That's awesome. So
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We have to do this and just shame Nick. Even though he deadlifts way more than me.
yeah. So back to kind of where this all started for you. So you grew up in Milwaukee, and did you get into lifting as a teenager for football or sports, or kind of how did you get introduced to all this?
I got into it, believe it or not, when I got into it around 15, 16, and what I really wanted to do at first was be a bodybuilder.
Oh, there we go.
I wanted to be like Ronnie Coleman, and I was buying the
Yeah.
muscle mags
Oh, we all did.
every single
hell yeah.
month.
Yeah.
I still go home to my
Yeah.
folks' place, and in my room is just piles and
Yeah.
piles of them.
That's awesome.
So
Now, were you eating like a bodybuilder too, or are you eating pizza and donuts?
I was doing a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I still had the high school metabolism. But so I was actually a basketball player most of my life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Because you're
so-
what? You're over 6 foot, right?
Yeah, I'm about 6'2".
6'2", okay.
Yeah, but now imagine me like 200 plus pounds lighter.
How much do you weigh?
Yeah, what are you now?
380.
Wow. Okay.
And so I was a basketball player most of my life.
Yeah.
My dad was a college player. My whole family was
Oh,
into
very
it.
cool. Your dad was a college basketball player?
Yep.
Okay.
So that was my whole life, and then right when I got into high school, I started lifting a bit more.
Yeah.
And then I just stumbled upon the magazines, and I started looking into those.
Yeah.
And so I started lifting way more, and I realized I wasn't getting the muscle definition. Like I really never had abs, but my strength went up.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, I'm really doing more than these guys in the magazines.
Yeah.
So.
And how much of a confidence builder does that become too? Because when you're at that age, especially, and every week you go in and you just keep making all these gains,
Unbelievable.
Like, you can't. You
Couldn't
just
stop.
build so much self-belief too.
You couldn't stop no matter what. And then it really boosted when I power lifted. I got officially into powerlifting.
Your first meet
as a senior
in high school? Oh,
Yep.
very cool.
What was your total in that first meet?
Ooh, I don't even remember the total. I benched.
We need the specifics to make this actual.
I benched 305. I squatted 565 or 535, and then I deadlifted 565.
That's really impressive
good.
for a senior in high school
1400,
too.
1435.
Yep.
And I imagine, there you go, Nick. He's running your
sizing
elite
this
total to see
motherfucker
if, was this elite or not? No, but that's awesome because I think, do you remember back in those days too? I assume obviously you're not the most experienced lifter. You're probably trying to figure out, you just been doing these lifts. You've seen the magazines back in those days, and maybe on YouTube a little bit. But did you have like just a 3-month training prep for it initially, or did you kind of just do what you normally do and go to this meet and see how you perform? Remember how that was?
Oh yeah.
The first one going in.
Absolutely. So I was lucky enough. My high school didn't have a powerlifting team.
Okay.
But there was a school that was in my neighborhood. My family lived closer to, called
Yeah.
Whitnall High School. They had a team.
Okay.
And one of my buddies who I met through high school football camps happened to be on that team, and he's like, "Hey, if you're interested, you should come talk to my coach." It just so happened they were like 4-time state champs, 3-time national champs.
Really? Okay.
My coach RG, hands down one of the best coaches I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
So I was lucky that I had elite coaching.
Well, let's talk about that once. What made him to you a great coach?
He made lifting unbelievably fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you're gonna work your ass off while you're here. In fact, like that mentality is what I bring to my own coaching.
Yeah.
Like because of him and the crew of guys and girls that I was on the team with, like they made it so this was something I knew right away. I'm like, I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. I think that's really important too when you think about as you're growing up and you have different heroes or coaches in your life that you look up to. They all play a role in your life whether they want to or not, and the ones that actually make that impact, like you're doing today in your own coaching, stick with you for so long. It's such like such an important thing to recognize as a coach too. But it's awesome that you're still kind of taking that in today and to your own training.
Yeah, I don't think you realize the impact your coaches have on you until later.
Yeah,
like it's like 10 years later, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, like that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, right. And then you all of a sudden you realize how much they instilled in you and your values or your work ethic or whatever it may be. And that's, as coaches, you need to know that.
Yeah, I had coaches that I fucking hated.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm looking back and like, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure. Even like a boss. Like there's times where maybe you didn't understand why they did the things they did. Then all of a sudden you're in a different position later in life. You're like, all right, I get it why he was a prick about that stuff. But all right. So yeah, there's always a good thing to take from it.
Well, that's a great point too. You said 8 years. It's hard to believe because you are so strong and powerful right now. Watching you live today, like you're only 26.
Yes.
It wasn't that long ago,
You're
right?
a pup.
I am a pup.
Isn't
You
that
realize
funny?
like we keep getting older with this shit.
Oh yeah, I see it every year. Yeah. But and
26,
I was most impressed by you was not only the lifting and your strength, obviously, but hanging out at your gym last week and now here today, like your willingness to learn and coach, I feel is very, very experienced versus a lot of people that have been around who are much older. So I give you a lot of credit for taking that as an honor and doing what you're doing as well. So as you did your first powerlifting meet, and I imagine, where did that go to? That kind of leads you towards college, or what happened from there?
Yep. So after that, I did state because of my busy schedule. I also wrestled at the time too, so that was a fun experience wrestling and powerlifting.
Now, were you a heavyweight then, or did you have to cut weight?
Oh yeah, I was the 106 pounder.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, I was. I didn't have to.
What
cut.
happened?
I didn't have to cut. I mean, the weight limit was 275, and I was right around there. I did have to do some cutting. Let's say like wrestling was in my background, and I think the mindset of that helped me a lot with powerlifting.
Yeah.
I mean, even to this day, nothing I've done was tougher than high school wrestling.
Yeah.
The same thing. I had a great coach.
Okay.
He was a Marine, and he wrestled in college, and
Okay.
his mindset of old school training, just like go balls to the walls, just went forward. And so after that, after wrestling season was done, I had state.
Sure.
And I was actually just telling Ken on the way to lunch, after I didn't have to keep weight cutting anymore, I had about like 2 months to get ready for state, and I just ate every freaking thing in sight. So like after my last wrestling match, I was with 275. I weigh in at state 2 months later, and I'm 305.
Shut up. Wow.
Damn.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I was at the point, because even I'm like, oh, like I don't have to be 275. I can be as big as I want.
Yeah.
So I was eating like 5-6 times a day at school. I'd go train, and then I'd have dinner and like have a mass gainer shake before bed.
Let it eat, baby.
Yeah, and then like before I even know, I was 305 at this competition.
Well, in a good
Nick's
way.
taking notes over there, right?
Eat your weight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you want
yeah.
to gain some mass? You can have a day with me.
That's why Ken hangs with you. But in a good way too. I mean, that's important for kids to know when they're training their butts off and they're never taking enough calories.
Oh,
You're always
not at
got to
all.
force feed yourself to learn how to do that too.
People so often, you know, it's such a, it's just such a battle. I'm like, what'd you eat today? Or like, I'll ask someone for a 3-day log, and then I look at it, I'm like, are you a 130-pound woman? Like one of our football players, I'll call him out, Carter. I looked at his log, and he's like trying to lose weight. I'm like, dude, you're doing this all wrong.
It's so funny when I ask people like, hey, how's your nutrition? Oh, it's good. Yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah. Then you dive in, and you're like, how are you not dead?
Yeah.
Or how have you not got injured?
You eat 50 grams of protein a day. You know?
So yeah, you gotta eat. Food
Absolutely.
is key.
When I train a lot of my kids, especially the summertime, like they walk in, and my first question is, "What have you had to eat today?"
Yeah.
And some of the answers I've gotten have been terrible.
And you're probably lucky enough too, where the community you're in, these kids have, you know, good home lifestyles. Where
Very
they're
much
able
so.
to, they're not living off of
No,
nothing, right? They
no,
can
it's
eat,
like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't eat anything. It's because you're lazy.
Exactly.
You couldn't open
Yeah.
the freaking fridge.
Yeah, like the kids like, well, we don't have food at my house. Okay. Bullshit.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like, I know your dad. I'll text him right fucking
Exactly.
now. Like, that's
If
bullshit.
I call
Go
your mom
fucking
right
eat.
now, I'm pretty sure she'd be not happy with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
answer.
she doesn't want to. Yeah, exactly. It makes them look like bad parents, and
Yeah.
that's not the intent.
No.
Like so yeah,
Well,
kids. Yeah.
and there's so much going on in kids' life too at that age where they're trying to stay, you know, they see whoever on a magazine, they want to be lean, or they don't
Yeah.
realize ramifications, so they're at home and they're cramped when they're trying to sleep,
Yep.
and that's the worst part. Okay, but back to you real quick. Does that meet you did, the state meet, the one you're just referring to, or is that a second meet that you did?
That was my second meet,
That
which
was?
happened to be the Wisconsin High School State meet.
Oh, how did you do there?
I took second.
Oh, very cool. At heavyweight, right? Super
Yep,
heavyweight?
and there were some pretty strong guys there. I remember
Okay.
there was Aaron Markert. He doesn't compete anymore, but I think he squatted like 750.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What weight class?
Super
Like,
heavy.
Super? Okay.
Yeah. Andy Oskow, I know he kept competing afterwards.
Yeah, he's still competing. I
Yeah.
think he's in weightlifting now.
Yeah, he is now, and he was in powerlifting. He's a great guy. Yeah, same thing. So Aaron took first, I took second, and Andy took third.
Very cool. Very cool. So from there, did you continue to train all summer? And sounds like you played college football and everything. in
Yep.
college?
So I decided to play at St. Thomas. And
Oh
then,
man, that
You were a
sucks.
Tommy?
Yeah.
We're gonna
we're gonna end this.
podcast.
I know. I saw the argument. I saw the
We're
argument.
gonna have to get out
That's
of
fun,
here.
though. When we played,
No,
we
it is,
used to
yeah,
beat
yeah.
you guys. So
Where'd
I just want to put
where'd
that
you
down.
play at?
Well, Augsburg.
Oh, okay.
Light bulb?
I just figured you had some guys here you trained.
So how was it though? How was your experience there with everything? Because you guys had Caruso come in there and change
Yeah,
everything.
Caruso.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
got
it
in the
was,
right
it was
track from that
amazing. And,
point.
you know, my
Yeah.
high school football experience, we really, at best a 500 team to go to.
Yeah.
To go to then a team that like doesn't know what it's like to lose very much.
Yeah.
The mentality was pretty amazing, and
Yeah.
the guys we had, the camaraderie, the hard assness of the coaches.
Yeah. Was your off-season weightlifting program pretty intense too? How did that?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
I would say like old school style of training, so like deadlifts, cleans, squats.
Yeah, because your guys'
squats.
strength conditioning coach was, what's his name?
Ty.
What's his last name?
I can't remember his last
Put you
name.
on
He
the
was
spot,
old
sorry.
school weightlifter.
Yeah.
He was big into that.
Yeah, he was a really good coach.
Yeah, he did not like that I wasn't great at cleans. He kept performing shit. I just muscled him, and he's. But yeah, no, he like old school style training, so I loved it. He liked that I did strongman too.
Yeah.
As my off-season training, he's like absolutely do that. So.
Very cool. And real quick, so coming from Milwaukee, what brought you to St. Paul?
Just to get out of town.
Okay.
I just wanted to experience it. My sister, she did the same. She's a bit older, and she right after high school she left just to see a different part of the country. And I had a couple offers, and I wasn't sure. I actually laughed about it. I told myself like, why would I ever go to Minnesota? That's like stupid. But yeah.
And now you're living here.
And now I'm living here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
a beautiful place.
I love it. I mean, it is, and yeah, it's honestly been a great choice.
Sure. So, what progressed from there then? You went to school there for 4 or 5 years.
4.5 years.
4.5 years.
And,
Okay.
I majored in health promotions. So
In health promotions?
Yep.
Okay.
So like kinesiology,
Yeah.
physiology, but also like marketing,
Very cool.
business and management.
Very useful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause- And we're gonna get to this in a little bit here, but you are also a full-time coach. Would you call yourself a strength conditioning coach, or what would you call yourself?
I use like strength coach.
Strength coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So from
Not much conditioning going on.
I mean, there's some conditioning going on here. But
I go on walks.
I literally will tell people. I'm like, I literally will tell people when they come interested in training. I'm like, do you like to run? No, good. We don't do that. Here.
What's running?
the only conditioning I have is my Pantene Pro V, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So after you graduated, did you get immediately into training somewhere, or what kind of venture were you on from that point?
I did, yeah. So after my 4 years, I had a semester left, and I became certified. I was American Council of Exercise certified.
Okay.
Personal trainer. I started working. Well, actually, during school, I interned at a high school, Hopkins High School.
Okay, sure.
Oh, yeah.
They're a big basketball program.
Yeah, huge basketball
Yeah.
and volleyball.
Yep.
So I interned there as an intern strength conditioning coach under my friend Tommy Miller. He was the head coach there for a
Oh,
while.
that's right. Yeah.
Great guy. He was also a strongman, so
Yep.
he took me under his wing just to kind of see what it was like to coach. And we worked with some teachers
Sure.
and individual students one-on-one. So I worked there for 2 summers.
Sure.
And actually, the first summer they wanted to pay me, like the school wanted to pay me, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
And but the summer, like I decided, like, well, I'll work. I'll live in Minnesota
Yeah.
all summer, but I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
And my mom was so pissed. But
No, but I think that's you're talking about that. So that's a huge step.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're believing in yourself, you're believing in the system that's going to take you somewhere someday.
Exactly.
And you got to take those chances once in a while and believe in yourself and that you're going to make it, right?
very much so. So after that summer is when I knew I'm like, this is like what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna know if you're not getting paid if you're gonna.
Yeah,
stick to
and
it.
there was like 3 of us, and
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 of them like, didn't make it to the summer.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's a virtue to you too, where it goes back to the saying, like you rather, do something that you love and not get paid a dime for than sit in a job you're making a bunch and
Exactly.
hate life. Yeah.
Exactly.
So where'd it go after that summer then?
Then they were able to hire me the next summer.
Okay.
Where saying it was still just as fun, and then I got to get paid for it.
Yeah.
And then the next summer I got certified, and then I started working at the Veterans Memorial Community Center in River Grove Heights.
Sure.
And so that's where I really started to take my personal training journey.
Yeah.
Is where it started. Great community center. I mean, they had 3,000 members. It had everything, water park, hockey rink, all the high school hockey teams go there. We had a turf field and basketball court.
Very nice. You were all athletes at that point, or just a certain type of?
Well, the majority of people there were older adults.
Okay.
But I was able to bring in youth train. The Simley High School was right across the street. From there, and it really started with youth training. My boss, my manager at the time, she's like, well, we have this kids fitness class that we're able to get going for a few years, and wondering if you want to try it out, try to take it over. So I did. I started working there in June, and by August we started it. I had 4 kids, and it grew. So about 4 or 5 months later, I had about 20 kids from 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Nice. You gotta have some patience for that.
Yeah.
No, I would literally have other members and other coworkers you look like you have the patience of a saint.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not true. I'm just as childish as these kids.
No, we just hang out.
Yeah, we just hang out and have fun. But I learned, and even that was figuring it out on the go. I've never worked with kids that young. I was used to high school kids.
Yeah.
But I learned you just gotta keep these kids occupied.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can't just tell these kids hey, go do squats. They're not gonna do that.
No, they're like giraffes.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't do
So
much.
I would make up games or obstacle courses that would just keep them busy.
Which is awesome, and you probably took some of that from that RG you were talking about.
Exactly.
As your coach, it kept you, involved.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it got so much fun. We had even too. We had tires outside, and I would just make up stuff on the fly.
And then you know what they're doing. They're doing good movements,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And even incorporate strongman. We have giant med balls. I'm all right, pick these up, carry them, and put them over this bar.
Oh, it's perfect for
We had
kids that age.
exactly.
Well, no, exactly. They're gonna know how to move things in space rather than use their things or pick up things wrong.
Right.
break
And
it
even
back.
too, I emphasize on teamwork because by the time I had 20 kids, it's all right, everyone pair up. We're gonna do team activities.
Sure.
Because a lot of these kids were the kids who maybe didn't do sports.
Okay.
These were the kids who were out of sports and their parents literally just need them to do something to be
Sure.
active.
It's pretty cool. So you could almost make it a real life Fortnite type situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, something like that.
Absolutely. And
So
then the
then-
number one game was dodgeball.
Oh, it was? Yeah. Well, what kid doesn't love dodgeball?
Exactly.
And for a while, they were minimizing it, I think, in class too.
Yeah.
They're so you involve it in a place where they can at least unleash their.
Energy and aggression.
Exactly. That's good. Energy and aggression. I like it. So what happened from there then? Just progressing and where you're going now.
Yep. So I worked there for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then I just built up. That's where I learned I worked best with children, and teens, and then active older adults.
Sure.
So 50 and above, because I worked with a wide array.
Yeah.
And then there, people I tell those people now I won't train people my age. I'm not going to do that.
Now, do you think a part of that because they always want to argue something, or they just don't believe or they don't have the work ethic to do it?
Yeah, usually the patience.
Yeah.
Or they want it for the easy way out.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned through my experience at that facility.
And I think most importantly too is you recognize A, what doesn't work for you, and B, what does work for you.
Exactly.
So
And I
that's
learned
huge.
that through working at that center. It
Okay.
took a
Yeah.
while, but by the time I was done or almost finished there, it's I knew what groups I wanted to work with.
That's awesome.
Well, I think as a coach, that's where you need to find your niche. I think too many times people think, well, I can do anything. No.
No.
Once you find your specialty and fucking stick with it.
What it is, it's an urge, not given.
Exactly. And even when I have kids at the university in the Phi Ed department come interview me and say what are some things you would tell a new brand new trainer, brand new coach? It's find your niche. Learn. You can't train everyone. Don't come in saying I can train everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to work. That's not going to work out too well for you.
And you got to be creative and trust in the process too. You finding ways to get those kids engaged.
Exactly.
And do different things to have them doing the movements are huge with actually engaged mentally as well as physically.
Very much so.
So then you were saying from the center from there you progressed to where?
I progressed to Ironworks. So
Ironworks right from there. Okay, how did that come about?
So my friend Jesse Reamer, he in May 2 years ago, he mentioned to me, he's like, hey, about to buy this gym. Want to know if you might be interested in coming to train there. And the timing was perfect because I've basically done everything I could at the River Grove Heights Center, to where I'm like, okay, I was looking possibly to grow, and I went over there, he gave me a tour, and instantly I'm like, this is the place for me to be.
Yeah. So throughout this whole time then, were you always powerlifting and strongman training, or when did all that come about within strongman for you?
So strongman, it's a funny story. I look back and still laugh at it. So it was right after I graduated high school. I graduated in May, and then by like end of June I was going to leave for St. Thomas.
Okay.
And at the YMCA I worked out at, some guy, there was a lot of lifters there.
Yeah.
And some of them would say like, hey, Ulice, like I know you just did powerlifting. There's a strongman competition going on at Bradford Beach. It's the big beach in Milwaukee.
Oh, sweet.
And they said you should look into it. And I had just heard about strongman.
Yeah.
Like I think my first World's Strongest Man I ever watched was 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, like I heard about it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I looked it up online and I called the guy promoting it. His name's Sam McMahon. And I called him up. I was at Bradford Beach with some friends saying, hey, my name's Ulice. I heard about you doing a strongman contest. I would love to sign up. And right away he's like, how old are you? I'm like 18. He's like, how much strongman have you done? None. You're not doing this contest. I'm like, excuse me? Like, yeah, you're not. Like, no, like I don't think you realize this is one of the bigger shows in the nation. You have no experience. Like, no, like I really think I can do it. Like I was a power lifter.
Yeah.
I did okay in that. I told him I was at the beach. He's like, all right, if you're there right now, I'm actually driving down there with my wife.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll wait for you. So he comes up, he's in a bike, in a motorcycle, and he is big.
Yeah.
I find out he was a former pro.
Oh, wow.
So big guy, bald head, biker jacket. I'm like, oh shit. So he comes up, he's like, so you're like, so you're Ulice. Like, okay, you're kind of big. So, and I just keep telling him like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely not. Like, he's like, kid, I don't want you to sign up and get hurt. You don't know how serious this is.
Sure.
But I just did not take no for an answer. So he's like, all right, if that's the case, he gave me a card. He's like, go to this address tomorrow. It's a gym in Brookfield, and they do strongman. He's like, they're the guys who like helping get this contest ready.
Sure.
He's like, I'll meet you there. So I go there, and it's kind of like this, or like you've been to Ironworks, like old school.
Yep.
And it's just a bunch of big dudes doing stuff outside.
Yeah.
And I'm still very new to all this. So I know Jacob Bodie was there, Kirk, the guy owner of the gym. I'm like, hi, my name's Ulice, just here to train a bit. I'm doing the Bradford contest, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I still remember that day like it was yesterday. The first event training we did was Husafel stone carry.
Damn.
It was my first event I ever did, and it's still the most hated event.
Yeah. Now how much does a use felt usually weigh?
It could vary.
Okay.
Like the one that we used was a metal empty one that you could put plates in.
Yeah.
Just tore the shit out of my arms. Yeah. So I did that, and instantly I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So we did that. We did frame carry.
Yeah.
That's when I learned that was one of the events I'm better at.
Okay.
Because they made like a steel beam frame.
And the frame carries where you literally just pick it up like you did have to walk with it?
Yep, and you walk with it. So I think like the frame empty was like 600 pounds.
Wow.
And honestly, like the concepts of these weights I didn't fathom yet.
Yeah.
So I picked it up and carried it pretty easily.
Yeah.
To where even all these guys were like, what the fuck? So I learned like that's when I was like, okay, I think that's an event I might be like better at.
Yeah.
And then we did axle clean and press and natural and Atlas stones. And I remember, we trained all day Saturday from like 10 to 5.
That's awesome.
And I get home and I was so exhausted. My hands were bruised and bloody. And well, I'm like, I cannot wait to do that again.
That's awesome.
So I only had 2 weeks to train for the strongman contest.
Oh, wow.
Which in hindsight, anyone looking to get a strongman maybe have more than 2 weeks of training. So I get there and I am one of the smaller guys there.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Were you still about 305 at that point?
That was, about 310, 315. Okay. And it was like a pro-am.
Yeah.
So there were some guys there who maybe weren't as big at the time, but like Dimitar Savatanov, who's been to Worlds, Derek Devon, who's been to Worlds, guys like Jacob Bodie, who's a pro, just a lot of big name guys in the nation who I didn't know. I didn't know strongman.
Yeah.
But I get there, like these guys are all massive. I felt like a little kid.
Yeah.
And I was 18.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they're probably saying the same thing about you. This kid is massive.
Exactly. Yeah. And well, it's funny, so we do the line up there, and it's a huge crowd at the beach. It was an awesome venue. And we're in the back room, and everyone's talking about how their training's been. And one guy, Johnny Wasika, he's a pro. He's like, hey man, how long you been training for this show? I was like embarrassed to say 2 weeks, and everyone looked at me dumbfounded. But great contest. We did it on the beach. It's still actually one of the harder shows I've done because like, all the events are in sand. So we had like keg toss in the sand, Husafel carry in the sand, stone loading in the sand. But like, I did great in the frame. Like I said, I knew the frame was good. I think I placed like 3rd or 4th in that event.
Which has got to make it even more tough if it's in sand.
Right. Well, that one was on like concrete.
It was on the concrete.
Yeah. So I ended up. I think there was about 12 or 13 guys. I took 10th.
Wow.
And I just loved it.
So you beat 4 guys then?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
huge.
honestly, I walked in. I'm like, just don't completely suck. Like, your friends and family are here. Don't look like an idiot.
I think that'd be called baptism by sand then, right?
Yeah.
You came in and did it that way.
So, but I loved it. Like I loved every minute of it. And I knew, and even like, Sam has become like a huge mentor for me.
Okay.
Like if it wasn't for, like he's helped me out a lot along the way.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for him and finally just saying like, okay, you can do this show.
Yeah.
I'd be curious of where I'd be at now.
Sure. Okay. So you still communicate with Sam?
I do.
Okay. Very cool.
And even when I go back to visit, they moved to a much larger location. The gym is called Winter's Edge Sports Performance, and they moved to a bigger location. And whenever I go visit, I always go see them.
That's awesome. Nice. So then you still continue to progress and do events during college and stuff too? And
yes, I did compete. I did compete while I played college football.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did track as well. I did field. I threw.
Okay.
Nothing I did was on the track. So I did football, track and field, and then even in track season in the summer, I would train and compete.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And then so through all that time, you're still competing and training, and mostly strongman, not so much powerlifting.
I haven't done too many power. I did. I do mostly like push-pull meets. Like I remember in college, I did one in Milwaukee. Milwaukee State Fair always has a big one, so I've done that one 2 or 3 times.
Very cool. Okay. And so then you get hired on over at Iron City Works. Is that correct?
Yeah, River City Iron Works.
River City Iron Works in River Falls, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And we were just out there on.
What the hell is that?
Well, you can edit this, Anthony. Just until this gets over with.
Batteries plus next door.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Those sons of bitches know we're podcasting. All right. You guys play the music, we're gonna honk our horns.
Right? Yeah, they hate us.
So, there we go, Dave. All right. So you find yourself at River Falls in River City Ironworks, correct?
Yep. Never thought I'd be working at River Falls.
Yeah. But you're back in Wisconsin, even though you live in Minnesota.
Yep.
So you get the best of both worlds there for yourself.
Exactly.
And we were lucky enough to go out there with you guys on Tuesday night with you and Big Ken here and learn some of the log press, which, holy cow, that is a lot of technique.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It is.
It is, but just I mean, we can go into that here in a second, but all that is crazy. So what I was super impressed by is you had, first of all, a couple of ladies you were training, and they just seemed to be super happy and enjoyed it.
Yep.
And then you had a bunch of young kids with you. What age kids do you normally coach there?
Majority between 12 and 18. That range, from like late middle school to high school.
Yeah. Okay. And then do you also do like older adults as well?
Yeah, 50 plus.
Okay. And then you're also coaching at River Falls High School a little bit?
I have coached the powerlifting team.
Okay.
And funny enough, right now I'm a lunch monitor at the high school.
Oh, that's great.
Do you like? I'm just trying to picture that right now.
But they don't eat, you finish.
Yeah, yes, it's actually hilarious.
You're gonna finish your meat, boy.
I would literally get like a lot of kids at the high school come to the gym.
Yeah.
So when I started working at the school just 3 weeks ago, and when I come up to all of them during lunch, there's 3 different lunch periods. They're like, "Oh, what's up, buddy? Like, what do you got for lunch today?" "Oh, cool. Yoink, take that there." And it gets to a point now, some of them kind of get the drill. I'll come up and say hi. They're like, "Hey, Ulice, I bought this bag of chips for you." And like the other monitors who I know them both very well.
Yeah.
"Did you just take the kid's apple?" Like, "Yep." "We're not gonna eat it."
That's awesome.
So I get some meals when I'm over there too.
Oh, that's great, man. Holy cow. The lunch monitor / coach.
That's a good way. It's fun to see my kids in that environment. The kids I normally see at the gym, see them in with their friends in that environment. Good way to help out the community, get the name out to the gym. So a lot more kids and even like faculty have been coming up to me and asking about the gym. I train one of their custodians right now. So
Well, you probably sell more apparel if you're allowed to wear your PayneTrain shirt.
I do.
in there
I
as
wear
well.
it every day. To where even my kids look, like, why are you wearing your shirt?
How many of those do you have?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get that question too. They're like, it seems kind of egotistical. You always like, that's the point. Like,
Buy my shirt.
branding.
So, with that, then let's talk a little bit about For you, what you said you thought, what were your best powerlifting or strongman events? I thought it was the
Deadlift is what you guys saw today.
That was incredible. 805 came up like nothing.
Yoke,
okay.
and frame and farm. Like farmers carries events where you have to pick up and carry using like your grip or your back strength. That's actually how I got my nicknames. So like Sam gave me the nickname U-Haul. Because I moved things like a U-Haul truck.
U-Haul, that's awesome.
So like in Milwaukee, like at the strongman shows over there, they're like Ulice U-Haul Payne.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is a hell of a name,
And
right?
then, my training partner in Hudson, Mike Struzes, he gave me the name PayneTrain.
Nice.
Same thing. I'm like a locomotive when I'm carrying like a frame of farmers.
So like you trained with your training partner Mike, and then you have Big Ken there with you.
I have Big Ken who trains with me sometimes, and I train with Dave Oslin
Oh, very
Dinah,
cool.
who's also become a huge mentor for me.
And he's a former pro strongman.
Yeah, he's still a
on
pro.
World's Strongest Man, right?
Yep, he's competed at Worlds, I think 9 or 10 times.
So you're connected with everyone then, so you kind of got a lot of knowledge still.
Yeah, so training with him, Carl Gillingham, who was a classic name.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dave, I've had opportunities like train with Brian Shaw.
Sure.
And been able to meet a lot of like some of the top guys in the world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I've known Dave for how many years? 7 years now.
Well, that's an incredible relationship to have too, because that knowledge and experience you're able to have with someone, that relationship continues to grow. So I'm sure there's stuff that he remembers or sees you doing that he can recollect from 10 years ago that helps you out for the future. Just little things.
Dave is probably one of the smartest human beings I've ever met. He's got a photographic memory, and things that he's taught me from that he's just experienced on his own, because he's been competing for like almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the knowledge he has to share is unbelievable.
Very cool.
And we train in his garage. He's got everything he needs right there. Yeah. And like the things that I've learned there are things like you can't learn in books.
Sure, oh, absolutely. Well, even like the opportunity for you to train with Gillingham, like that's the level, of nostalgia with that last name.
Oh my gosh,
and the brothers and the dad and the strength of minute, it's just amazing.
Yeah, one of the first time I trained with Dave was 2012 in the winter, and that was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
We was training at his house, and he was just a huge down to earth guy. I had no idea what to expect, and then like that next weekend, he asked me to come train, and Carl was there, and I don't like fangirl a lot with anybody. I fangirled out with meeting Carl Gillingham.
Yeah. And I think like 3 of those brothers all have like the top grip, like 3 of the top grips in the world, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty damn.
Brad. Yeah, unbelievable.
I met Brad when I was like 16. I remember just looking up at him like, oh my god.
He still pulls quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's still a monster.
Way
puller.
over 7, I think.
Yep.
Still easily.
Yeah.
Just
Same with Carl. Like Carl can lift whatever he wants. He just doesn't do it anytime.
That's insane.
Those guys are so strong.
So how does that correlate with you? Like when you're training Big Ken here, like we were over there doing the other night. Do you take a lot of credit in like helping him with his training as well? Like
Absolutely, but I
things,
mean, Ken was pretty much a freak of nature when he walked in the door. The first time I had him do log, I mean, he pressed 300.
Oh my god!
And after that, I'm like, I think this guy kind of got what it takes. Like,
I just pick it up and press it? Okay.
yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. All right.
I got this.
Anything else, Coach?
Is there any more weight?
Is that it? Are we done? That's awesome.
But yeah, just basically with making his programming so down the road when Ken goes off on his own, like he'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
I think that we can. Let's elaborate on that. I like that. I think sometimes coaches. I think it's better to coach and make sure athletes learn.
Empower them.
Yeah, exactly.
much
Thank
so.
you. Empower them, like so they know what they're doing and why, rather than be a puppet, so to speak. and
Yes.
just-
You don't want
I
people
like.
to be just like reliant on you all the time.
Yeah.
As a coach, that's just so draining.
Oh, it is. And you're always
To
going to get
empower
that
them.
still.
There's always going to be some of that.
Yep.
But to get somebody to the point where you're empowering them, you're teaching them how to do things on their own, I think that's kind of the goal for every one of your athletes.
And I was totally against it when I first started coaching.
Well, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, you all of a sudden get a room, 10 people lifting together who are all pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it just creates a great atmosphere.
then-
Like today,
and then that's
as
culture
an
and
example.
community.
Yeah, exactly.
And the value of that is too when you do kind of take those little tests and kind of send them on their way and see what they can do, and you put your time and effort into somebody else and kind of see how they do on their own as well. And a lot of times that goes into them, becoming really, really good in that expertise that they come back later and they may be another great coach elsewhere And if it's specific weightlifting or technique or whatever it is, like in your case, I think it goes a long way too.
Yeah, for sure.
And for you, Ulice, like what do you feel that you gain? What do you love most about you coaching right now in the strength and conditioning world over there?
I love seeing, especially with the kids.
Yeah.
I love seeing when they realize like what they're truly capable of.
Yeah.
Especially like the younger ones, like when they hit like a big lift or hit a PR, and just how like the pure enjoyment they get out of it. That, you know, and I've gotten a lot of kids who like are very timid and shy. I've had kids who came in because they were being bullied.
Yeah.
And when they realize like, hey, you are capable of way more than you could ever imagine, and when they realize that, they change. You know, like even one kid, little guy that I've trained, he's already gained about 20 pounds. He worked with me since June. And he used to be like a little skinny, like hunched over, a little timid.
Sure.
And I was training him on Wednesday, and now the kid is so confident in himself. I mean, he's walking to the gym now like all puffed up, chest out, because he's so much stronger than he was. Like just seeing those kids gain that confidence, because that's what I gained through lifting.
Yeah.
I also used to be a very shy and timid guy. While I was always big, I always like hid in the corner.
Yeah.
But now like lifting gave me that confidence to kind of be who I want to be.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that's probably a connecting point for all of us. I know for me, like when you're a kid, you know, being an overweight kid, and you hide, and all of a sudden finding something, you find an outlet, and all of a sudden gain confidence out of. That's you can't put a price on that. It's just an amazing thing to do.
It's greatly important. I think whether or not, you know, whether you're a bigger kid or you're a skinny little kid, like your example there, like you start making those progressions, and you have self-belief, and other people start noticing.
Yes.
And like I'm sure the kids, you see them when they walk in the gym, they come and they're excited now to hit different ways.
They're excited
to try different things, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Which makes it, for you feel more empowering because you're giving them the opportunity to continue to learn. And they're still so young.
Very.
There's a ton of stuff they can do.
Very. Even with the older adults, you know, I've worked with a lot of grandparents who just want to be more active for their grandkids.
Yeah.
And then when they'll come and tell me, yeah, Ulice, I just feel better now. I can go play with my grandkids outside for 2 hours and I don't get tired.
That's huge.
You know, so little things like that, where, you know, just moving some weight, getting a workout in, like, can improve your life in more ways than you can ever imagine.
Well, that's huge, especially at that age too. You're right, both ends of the spectrum on that. You have you're building self-confidence to launch you into life a little bit, and then you have the end part of that where you just want to enjoy life without being hurt.
Exactly.
That sounds like you kind of like the performance side, but you need the balance with helping the everyday
Very
seeker,
much so.
right?
Yeah. Like I used to think I just want to train athletes.
No,
and
I was
be
the
in
same way, and then all of a
be in
sudden
the
it's
gym
like,
all the
why
time.
aren't I PRing? Why don't we just worry about others?
And now I learned through working at the community center. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I love training grandmas. It's amazing.
All these chocolate cookies.
Yeah. Oh, I get treats. I get treats.
Oh,
I've had some of my other clients bring me soup. But no, and even just like the conversation, you know, it's not the super intense stuff, but it's just like, it's still, you know, weight training, resistance training, and they're enjoying it. It's a different kind of environment.
Yeah, you have a new leash on life. It's awesome.
Exactly. I've even had like other guys who are my friends at the gym who will see me, like they'll see me train one of my kids, and then boom, I got to train the 65-year-old. They're like, you turn on a dime in terms of my tone, my everything. It's like, you have to have that.
Yes.
I'm not going to be like super intense yelling at this 70-year-old guy.
Yeah. Give him a heart attack when he's get one.
No, absolutely not. And and I think to be able to work with different kinds of people, you got to be able to have that. You know, I tell people I don't train everyone the same. I read them and I read the room, and then I make it work for them, because I want that person to be comfortable, to be relaxed. I don't want to be uptight when they're in the gym. You know.
Well, and I think that's go ahead.
That says a lot about your emotional intelligence or your
EQ. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge characteristic of a great teacher, not necessarily coach, but whether you're a teacher or whatever it is, that you make those one-to-one-on-one relationships where you can find a way to work with someone.
Absolutely.
And like for you too, it sounds like I was going to ask you, you know, what do you feel like, or how do you feel you've built a culture at River City Ironworks? And a lot of what you just said kind of explains with that. So how do you feel like the culture is over there, and what do you want it to get to too?
I think the culture is incredibly hardworking. From what I've seen, you know, it'll be 2 years there come June. But like one of my slogan for my business for PayneTrain is work hard, be humble, and then you can be great.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm trying to emphasize with everyone, not just the kids there, but, you know, you don't have to be out there and be loud and be, you know, kind of obnoxious that I see a lot, especially like in the strength world. But, you know, just look ahead, do your work, be humble. That's something that I've experienced through my life and that I was raised to be. You know, if you're the strongest guy in the room, you still got to be down to earth, very humble, and then great things are going to happen to you.
Yeah, for sure. No one likes the strong asshole in the room.
No.
But they like the strong teddy bear.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking notes, Ken?
Yeah, it's so fun. Like an example of like the teddy bear.
Writing that down.
An example of the teddy bear. Like when I got to working at the school, like I learned. Even the principal was like, well, even like the kids who cause trouble, they don't want to because they're terrified of you.
Yeah.
Literally, one of the kids that came up to me was like, Ulice, like we think you're gonna throw us through the window. And one of the high school girls I trained, she was like standing there. She's like, "Oh, Ulice is a teddy bear." I'm like, you can't tell them that.
You're gonna ruin my image, girl.
Exactly.
I might throw you through the window.
Maybe.
So that's the kind of the mindset that I'm trying to bring.
Very nice.
That not just to be when you're like in the weight room or you're training, but every day. You know, that's what I taught. That's what I was taught when I played at St. Thomas. That's what I've seen through some of the great, like Dave. Dave is unbelievably humble. Brian Shaw, unbelievably humble. So that's what I've learned through some of the mentors I've had.
Yeah, that's something I've been really surprised with the more we do this. Like Joel Dirks, humble as hell.
Yeah,
we've had great.
Yeah, Joel's another guy who's been helping
just,
me out.
Like
through
he's
the
the
years.
nicest dude. Like he messages me stuff on my deadlift and all this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Joel's awesome. You see that a lot. I think anyone who's really loves what they do, they always want to give back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joel brought us out to his gym over at Metroflex.
Sweet. Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I want to go out there and get a
Oh, it's a
session with
great.
Joel.
It reminds me a lot of the gym that you guys have. It was kind of just old school and had everything you needed, and it was just there wasn't a whole lot of people in there, so we really focused on what we were doing, like deadlifts that day. We were trying to work on making a little bit wider stance deadlift. And Joe was so great at breaking everything down for what works for me. We have to figure out and what works for like Sarah's work for Sarah, works for him, is work for him.
Exactly.
So we're all a little bit different. But we got to figure out what works for you specifically, and just we'd film it, we'd watch it, and we're all gonna be different. But figuring out what works for you specifically is the important thing when it comes to those structured movements, I guess.
Exactly.
So like, and today was with you guys having here was a lot of what you were describing earlier. How like, Fed and I were there squatting, you guys are deadlifting. And like Nick's a little chihuahua trying to get in there and hang out with you guys. And,
I saw it. Let's go.
Look at the little guy go.
He's kept coming over, and you guys were you like the little one that comes over taking the scraps from the wine sleeve. He's over there.
Oh man, he's not happy right now.
He'd come over and try to get a pull, and you guys weren't looking. But no, it was awesome because you guys kept having the huge weight on there, plate after plate after plate. And Ken mosey back over, check his phone. You'd go over and start putting the massager on your leg, and just you were very calm, very comfortable, very just humble. And it was awesome because the environment in this side of the room, on the left side, was all the class, the movement class, go. We had Olympic lifters right next to you. We had squatters behind. It was just a great environment.
Very
The
much
culture
so. The atmosphere was
that you've been
amazing.
able to build here has been amazing. So like, I thought today, when these two monsters walked in, and we're kind of looking like, what's going on? And,
It's about to fucking go.
Yeah. And it did.
Yeah.
With the 805. Yeah.
Watching those guys deadlift and the entire gym stops what they're doing.
Yeah.
You look over,
Just
Ken and I are
fucking
very used to
respect.
that.
Stop, watch. Well done. Move on.
Yeah. Probably like your Chipotle experience. So you guys walk in, and the
Yes.
employees are probably just like, oh no.
Like, the best part is like Ken, when he first started training at the gym, I remember the day it actually pulled up on Facebook when you pulled 700.
Oh, wow.
Like yesterday, a year ago.
Oh, I didn't see
And
that.
I'll never forget because it was a pretty busy night, and like you were doing your lifts, and everyone was stopping to watch. And Ken literally like looks up. He's like, "Why are you all looking?" I'm like, "You're about to pull 700. Like that's not a normal thing."
Did you do like the awkward wave? Hi guys.
Yeah, I'll never forget. That was so funny. And I was thinking, like, yeah, you better get used to that because the stronger you get, the more that's going to happen.
Ken's at a disadvantage because we don't have that extra mic right now. I wonder if we put this over him if that would work.
We don't know how to hook it up. We're just a bunch of meatheads who do things.
Yeah, so you might have to lean over to one of the mics if you want to talk, Ken, sorry. But I just think the coach thing with you, what you guys have over with Seeing Ironworks, what Tyler you built here with everybody coming in between the CrossFitters, the Olympic lifters, the power lifters, like it was a great environment today. Everyone's working hard, everyone's being humble, and you guys are being monsters. Nick's the hyena trying to break in there. It was just hilarious. Just watching from afar.
He did really too.
He'll accept hyena.
But you lifted awfully
I
heavy.
think
It was
after I
just
saw you
fun.
pull 585, I'm like, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he can fucking.
It was
pull.
great. It was great. It was just kind of just humorous from afar. But so
We give him a lot of shit because he ain't over 250.
It was great. Yeah. He doesn't have the legs of nowhere yet, but he's
We're getting
So, for you though, Ulice, how do you recover? Let's talk about that outside of the gym. It's something I like to bring up, but like nutrition-wise, or like you have that massage thing you're using all the time. How do you stay fresh to recover from all these heavy workouts? What's kind of your
The nice
thing?
part is, I would say, in terms of like recovery and like stress levels, like I don't get stressed too often.
Yeah.
Part is how like just mentally, like how I was raised. My dad taught me to like never, no matter how bad things get, like do not freak out.
Yeah.
That will just make things worse. But I also have a pretty like I told you, I have the dream job. I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
I work when I want, so like my stress levels are low.
Yeah.
I do my best to get enough sleep. Sometimes that's tough with not how much I work.
Yeah. Are you a CPAP guy or not?
I am not.
Okay.
It's been getting better. I actually was getting close to it, but now I am starting to drop weight. My goal is to get even lighter than I am now.
Okay.
But then like I do things like massage work and chiropractic. When getting ready for a contest, I do it once a week.
Really?
Both.
Okay.
Like you said, I bought the Hypervolt massage gun. That thing has worked wonders.
And that's called a what? A Hypervolt?
Hypervolt massage gun. There's a couple. There's like the Theragun, the Tim Tam, the Hypervolt, the Jigsaw. And I did months of research and like which one am I going to get, and that one's been my favorite, just because it has like different settings. It's not as loud.
Okay.
And I use it for my clients.
Yeah.
I know Ken loves it.
we saw that earlier.
I saw how excited he got.
You got some pictures of me right behind him doing it.
That's how you know your friend's a friend when he's getting right in the middle of those glutes.
Exactly. Cold treatment as well. So I do like cryotherapy work.
Yeah.
I discovered about a year ago.
Okay.
And I still, same thing. I'm a very old school guy. I love the ice bath.
Oh yeah.
So amazingly good torture.
Yeah, it's great.
So, but I also do cryotherapy. That's been working wonders just to prevent like the little injuries.
Okay.
So I've made an emphasis on those more in the last like 2 years or so compared to like when I was even in college, because we had a full training staff and we had a hot and cold tub and I was telling one of my kids the other day who's about to go to college, I'm like, you gotta take advantage of that. Like you're not gonna realize till you're done.
Yeah.
How amazing that is.
Yeah,
Like,
every day I would do an ice bath, even if I wasn't sore.
Exactly.
I would just do it.
I'd come to the locker room after class, like, well, hopping in the hot tub or hopping in the cold tub, like
Yeah,
no
hell
matter
yeah.
what.
It makes a world of difference. How
So
much
I
better
even
you are.
still do that, even though I barely fit in my own tub right now. I still do that, like
Oh
when during
my
a
gosh.
contest or like if I know I got like a big lifting day the next morning, I will like take a cold.
Yeah, how much is like a cow tub cost?
like a water trough. You can buy one at Fleet Farm probably. Just put a bunch of ice in there. I don't think it's much more than probably
Well,
$100.
we're gonna party this
That's
weekend.
what,
Let's go buy some.
That's what we did at the little NAIA school that we were at.
Yeah. Why don't we-
Bought three of those.
Get a
We just
bunch
put
of
them in
those.
that
Oh, in high
corner
school
over
we
there?
used a garbage can.
There you go. Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that this week.
Maybe a truck bed liner.
Right? Oh, yeah.
In the back of the pickup.
Yeah, right back in my
All those
truck.
little things,
Let's
like
party.
Massage work, my guy Garrett, Massage Concepts in River Falls. He's done a lot of help for me with keep my body healthy, a lot of muscle work,
Very nice.
mobility movements. Which same thing, another thing that I realized not till about a year ago.
Yeah.
How unbelievable you recover if you're loose and
Okay.
flexible. Where I didn't always emphasize on that too much.
Yeah, and that's a different concept too, because I think sometimes some people like I like staying tight because I don't want to stay too loose, right?
Right, yeah, you don't want to be too
So-
loose,
yeah,
but
so
you don't want to
there's
be
a
too
fine
tight.
medium, yeah,
That
yeah,
nice
yeah.
medium.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if you guys like were watching, like when you were watching me, I take a while to get my
Set
warm-
up,
set
yeah.
up, like because of all the stretching. I tape both my knees, I floss them both. I use the massage gun everywhere, and especially if I plan to like pit a big lift.
Yes.
I know I have to do that to make it good. Otherwise, if I don't, something's gonna feel
You
off.
have to pay for it later.
Yeah, I'll pay for it later.
Yeah. Well, that's the important part too, where everyone's approach is different, right?
Right.
So it's almost like a Major League Baseball pitcher going in, and one guy has a routine where he lifts his leg 15 times for goes forward.
Right.
that's not legal, but anyways, something like that, where Ken just goes and lifts it, right? So there's two different perspectives for everybody.
No, even I'm like, say, Ken, like, how about even like, if we brought it to Ken, like, Ken, how about before your deadlifts, like, we stretch you out a little bit.
But it's important because, like, if just because you're watching Ken lift all these massive weights, it's probably might not work for you. So find your own routine. Like if you're amongst a bunch of lifters, everyone's different.
Exactly.
Just find your own routine. That's really important to figure out, I think.
100%.
So going forward for you, kind of what are you looking at? What do you want to happen next? Do you have any goals in mind that you want to share everything, but kind of like moving forward?
Absolutely. So business wise, just growing the business even further.
Yeah.
Like I just became like LLC. So just growing that business. Strongman wise, I don't plan to compete probably until next winter, next spring.
Okay.
Dropping down about probably another 50 pounds.
Good for you.
I've already dropped like 30.
Really?
Yeah,
So
so I've been over
400.
I was over. I did LA Fit Expo 2 years ago, and I was like 418.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm dropping weight right now.
Well, shoot, between you and Ken pushing each other for lifting weight.
Yeah.
And then you probably get, I don't know, you guys seen that.
Now our weights, like I think Ken's gonna weigh more than
Yeah,
me.
that's what I mean. Like,
So just dropping weight.
Can you go into how you're doing that?
A lot of it's just a slight deficit, not a major one.
Okay.
Because I love food.
Yeah.
But just like a little bit better eating. Like I get my meal. I have prepackaged meals made by Midwest Meals. So because everyone's like, oh, you got to do the meal prep. I'm like, I know that, but I'm really lazy at that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hire these guys to do that for me.
so the chocolate velvet cakes from Domino's only go on Tuesday nights.
Oh shit, that's right.
Called you out.
I forgot you guys were there Tuesday. Yeah, that was like a little special treat.
I've been good today.
You get the front desk, bought some Domino's, and they had some leftovers. But no, even like I have moderation, because I tried to go like the super eat clean
It's never
7 days a
yeah.
week, and it drives me mentally insane.
Yeah.
And I even tell it to my clients who like want to, I came here to lose weight. And it's like, look, like you can do it, but it takes moderation.
Yeah.
Because
There's
even
gotta be a balance with life.
yeah,
When you go to a wedding, here's my chicken and broccoli.
Yeah, or like
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Like,
graduation party, or like,
Or like-
wait,
or like
let me, yeah, exactly.
you saw with my client Julie, who was like,
yeah.
awesome, we had a great workout. Like, we'll see you at the bars tonight.
That's
see you there, yeah.
Well, yeah, like fuck, we're having like a seminar here in a few weeks, a weightlifting seminar, and literally it says drinks and food after.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get tuned up.
Absolutely.
Like, it's gonna be fun. So,
Finding that moderation. Finding that moderation. But also too, like my training emphasis, a little bit more high intensity volume training, which has been nice on the joints.
so still no cardio and you're losing weight.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? I'm lifting weights and losing weight.
Yeah. What?
So it sounds like
I do a little bit of cardio conditioning, but like treadmill, no, I'll never get on the treadmill anymore.
Yeah, that'll
but
fuck
I do
up
like
your knees.
Stairmasters.
Okay.
We have a stair climber, and I'll put on like a weight vest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just like walk outside with weight vests, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jump rope. I'm big into jump rope.
Okay. And that's huge. You guys know,
I think it's just part of being an athlete.
Yeah.
Just being
your
athletic, right?
footwork and probably carries over to strongman
Footwork,
stuff.
oh yeah, it was huge. I mean, basketball is my life.
Which your footwork again carries over to strongman.
It probably feels good too, because I'm sure you get this a lot. I get it, and I'm 280 pounds, and people are like, "Oh, you can't even do double unders." I'm like, "Motherfuckers, I can do triple unders."
Oh yeah.
So like, it's just one of those things where.
anger.
I get it all the time.
If you ever get a chance to look up, I should have brought my jump rope today. Like I used to do, as a kid, jump roping classes at the YMCA.
Oh, nice.
We have like 15 over there.
We have a bunch right here too.
Yeah.
I could probably show you.
Yes.
We're gonna do a video of big men doing
This
jump
would be
rope.
great for the Instagram.
But,
big man
when I was a
swing
basketball
rope.
player in middle school at the YMCA, this guy, older guy, so a lot of Marines in my life. I look back. He was an older guy that he trained college athletes, like college football players, college basketball players in the summertime, jump rope. And it was just like an hour of jump roping, and he'd do different drills, different footwork. And me and my buddy, who were 8th graders at the time, we would go work out, we go lift, and then come up there. And he said, "Yeah, you guys can join if you want, if you think you can take it." And it was intense. It was really intense. He even got us. He made jump ropes for us. So there were these things were hard as shit, and they were weighted handles. That's why I wanted to bring it. They were weighted handles.
Yeah.
So I think mine are like 2-3 pounds. a handle, and the footwork I gained was unbelievable. I trained there for about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And just the things we would do still carry over.
Sure.
You know, so like I'll jump up at the gym and people are like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think it goes a long way. Anyone who's a bigger athlete to be light on their feet.
Yeah. It's
Right.
crucial.
And for one, you're going to have, I think, something we don't talk about enough is we got to have foot strength.
Foot strength, unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge.
Foot
And all of a
and
sudden, if you can't like transfer and move your body in space, not asking someone to do muscle ups, but
Well,
Yeah.
something simple as a jump rope goes a
And
long
I
way.
started squatting barefoot just to try to spread my feet and try to get more of that strength.
Yeah.
And then back to what you're saying, I think you look at some of the most in shape athletes and boxers. They've been doing jump ropes for
Boxing's
how
huge.
many years
Yeah.
now,
My
right?
grandpa, the first Ulice, I'm Ulice the third, the first Ulice, he was big in the leg, but he was a boxer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, you gotta jump rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like you kind of talking in third person there.
Yeah.
You got some more like,
Yeah.
I'm the third Ulice.
Yep, I am the third, yeah. So there's a couple other ones.
Yeah. But so I was going to ask you about that because it's a very unique name. Now I see. But it sounds like with what your future holds, it's kind of talking about you're going back and where it all started, and we're going to see you in the physique bodybuilding show pretty soon.
You know, I don't know about that. I mean, when my goal is to get like the 330.
Oh, wow.
And I think when I get to that, like you'll see me at Ironworks with my shirt off.
Very nice. Yeah.
A little bit more. Yeah, just shaking his
That's about what you're at
but yeah,
now,
to-
Ken, right?
I think I'm up to like 350 probably.
Yeah, you're at least 20 pounds heavier than when you were here.
Yeah.
You're very jacked now.
Fuck
So
It's impressive.
yeah, so then once I get to that body, we kind of rebuild back up. You know, so then by the time I get back to competing, maybe be like 350.
Wow.
You know, do a recomp. So
Okay. I was going to ask you. So, I guess you growing up in Wisconsin, we talked a little bit earlier. So, as a young kid, before you met these people who were actually the promoters and sponsoring these events, like, was it? I imagine you grew up in Wisconsin, and Bill Kazmaier. Was it? For you being a football player for like me too, but you with Gilbert Brown. Like,
Yeah.
who were your inspirations as a young kid?
as a young kid, I didn't play football until I was 17.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, everyone is just like surprised by that because I was a basketball player,
There you
and
go.
like I did basketball year round.
And that's huge in Milwaukee area too.
very
Basketball,
big.
Marquette,
Basketball is
it's
huge.
huge.
So my dad played for Marquette.
He did, okay.
He actually was on the '77 championship.
Oh
team.
wow, okay.
So I never met Al McGuire, but like I met like Hank Raymonds and a lot of NBA guys. Maurice Lucas, who was a coach, he passed now, but he was a coach at the Trailblazers, a friend of my dad's. So I got to meet like all these guys. Like I've met Shaq, I've met them all. And
Dwayne Wade, was he a Marquette guy?
yes, Dwayne Wade was
yeah,
Mark. So I met Dwayne Wade back when, and just so being around that, like my life was basketball until I was 16.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and even like when I got into weight training, I kind of just I figured it out on my own. I would literally show up to the YMCA. They had a platform in the corner. They had like a bunch of hundreds and metal plates, and I would just like go lift in the corner. I'd go deadlift, I'd clean, then I'd go do bench. And I was lucky enough to be at a YMCA where there were a lot of experienced guys there. Like there were guys who like we had one guy who was a pretty good bench press specialist, a squat guy. So they would all help me out because they were all older and I was 15, 16 at the time. So I got to learn from them. But like I'd write up workouts on my own. Like I would literally do the workouts like that Ronnie Coleman put in Muscle Man.
Yeah. That's great though, because unless you have someone that's telling you exactly a plan, a part of being at that point in your life is creating your own stuff.
Exactly.
And figuring out, what you like, what you don't like, and what you're not good at, you better do more of, right?
Right. Exactly. So that's like doing Ronnie's workouts. Like I was doing like back days, 2-3 days a week.
Well, and I guess you're probably that age now, I guess, because you're a little bit younger, but like, we didn't have all the YouTube videos. You relied on those magazines, but now you see like
Now it's
with the
YouTube.
video, you see what Ronnie Coleman was doing. Like, holy shit!
And I didn't even look into YouTube much. I think like till like sophomore, junior year.
Yeah.
Was when I discovered YouTube and like I like looked up weightlifters.
Yeah.
And I saw like I was just telling you about the pictures over there.
Yes.
Chamerican.
He loved all those.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a big weightlifting fan.
Oh,
too.
okay.
So
All right.
like seeing Chamerican was like clean and press on YouTube was one of the first things. Or like it was him, Mark Felix.
Yeah,
Seeing Mark
yeah,
Felix
yeah.
deadlift was one of the first videos I've ever
Crazy.
seen. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is, but there's no more room on the bar, so that must be a lot.
It's amazing how strong some of those guys are. Like that Rachmaninoff photo.
Yeah.
He looks like he's deadlifting it, but
No, he's about to clean
he's
it.
about to clean that
Is
shit.
that what
yeah,
that
yeah.
is? Okay.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
about
yeah.
to clean it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just he had an awkward style, but he was so goddamn big and strong.
So looking at those videos, is when I got into powerlifting is when I really started to watch YouTube videos of guys lifting, kind of see what they're doing, and see how we're like. That's how when I first got into strongman, like log press. I really never had anyone teach me how to log press. I just looked at YouTube, like I would watch World's Strongest Man and see how like these guys are doing. Like, okay, like let's give it a shot. So then it picked up like really fast for me because of that.
Yeah. Just watching stuff sometimes, it's easy to learn and see what's going on that way as well. And for us, like we always talk to those old guys, we've always loved to watch, kind of locally here, the Kemp Patera.
Love Kemp Patera. Watching him at Worlds was awesome.
Yeah, when they had the old iron bend over the neck, and the old school ones, like squatting with girls on the big case above them. And
that's the biggest reason why we bought that rack.
That's sweet. That's really awesome. I never met Ken. I'd like to, but like he's met.
He lives here in Woodbury. We've been trying to get him.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
He lives like 3 blocks away. He lives on Wood Lane.
Don't tell us.
Our bad.
Edit that.
Cut that.
Yeah, we're trying to get him on. So
that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I remember like watching when I got into strongman, then watching like the older worlds and like seeing him on there. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Who was your looking back? Like who's one of the best strongman if we're watching those that you probably and you compete against? Like you're not competing against, but you've kind of been in the realms of training with like Martins Lisis maybe?
I've gone against Martins.
You did, okay.
Yeah, I've gone against like Martins, Travis Ortmeyer, Josh Thigpen, like those are 3 guys who've done Worlds. Mikhail Shivlikov, Nick Best. So I've had the pleasure of being able to go against some of those guys. But looking back, Bill Kazmaier was always one of them. Trying to think who else when I just think of like the classic guys. Probably John Paul Sigmarsson from Iceland. I mean, watching him compete was unreal. One guy, Odie Wilson. Watching him was pretty unreal. I think he's still under the name of like World's Strongest Man who never won it.
Yeah, him and Kazmaier went back and forth a lot too. They competed.
Yeah, well, even like there's a competition, World's Strongest Team.
Really?
From the I think it's 89 or 88.
Okay.
And it's Kaz and OD.
Oh my God.
And they just dominate working together.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So guys like that were the guys who, when I got into strongman, I would watch like their videos and kind of look up to that.
Very cool. You guys got anything else?
No, so I think you kind of tapped into, where you're looking to go with your business and training and everything else. This is always my question, but I'm always curious. Where do you kind of see potentially the end game? Like 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now?
Overall, it would be a dream to have my own facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
And kind of have it a place where it's not just for like that one niche group. Everyone always likes to have like that hardcore lifting gym, and while it's nice, economically is usually not how that works. But also too, I've had the pleasure of working in gyms that aren't like that too, where it's like I want a place where everyone comes and it's like that's their go-to place.
Yeah.
That's one thing Iron Works is pretty close to. Like it's a community where we literally have people come. It's like this is where I come because I feel my best here, and that's a facility I would like to have.
Okay.
That's awesome.
No, that's awesome. That's what I think. That's the reason why someone should open a gym.
Right.
That's the exact reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you're going to meet people in the way. So if I would think it's going to be for the money.
No.
We don't do this for the fucking
No,
money.
I don't do this for the money.
No.
If I wanted to do it for money, I would have gone to law school like I originally planned when I went to college.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
no, that's awesome.
It is. So if people want to get in contact with you too, they want to follow your training, maybe talk to you about getting personal training, they and follow along the PayneTrain of working hard, being humble, being great. Where do they follow you on Instagram? What's your name?
On Instagram, I have 2 pages. So I have PayneTrain Strongman.
Yeah.
Is like my personal page for all my like competitions and stuff. But then I also have a PayneTrain strength training page.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
It's just a page that just highlights my clients.
Okay.
You'll see Ken on there from time to time, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just a page that just highlights all my clients and the hard work they do and the efforts that they show.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And then one of the things I think we like to once in a while end with on here is to talk about what's going on in our lives right now currently. So we'll start with you, Tyler, and we'll just go around the room here. So for you, what's been going on this week for you? What's new in your life? What's going on?
Getting geared up for summer, potential business stuff. Can't talk about. Try to hopefully. But next week we're all going for a few reasons, but going to Green Bay. Appleton, to coach a movement specialties workshop.
Fuck around with Adam Dirk's cows.
Yep, and then we're gonna go hang out with Adam Dirks, and I guess we're gonna wrestle some bulls and shit. And watch that fucker pull heavy ass deadlifts. I hate
It's
him.
gonna get weird.
It's gonna be
Nick?
awesome.
He's getting ready for a world record, I think.
Yeah, in the middle. He told me.
Yep.
I talked to him in Ohio.
Yep.
It'll be fun to watch. Started doing Ramlad again this week. So
What's
I
that?
made
Painful is that?
I made a new username. It's The Thickness.
What is the song?
Ramlad.
Ramlad,
Yeah,
okay.
just like 20 minutes of it's like yoga type stretching, stack stretching stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of passive
It's
stretching.
right before I go to bed, and it's super relaxing, and I felt great all week. It's been a deload week. Well, today kind of fucked that up, but it's been a good week.
Good.
What about you? This week was a pretty busy one for me. I took on 4 new clients. You met 2 of them.
Oh yeah, they were
They were
having
brand
the time
new.
of
That was
life.
their first day.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully they're still listening at this point.
They are, for the most part.
Yeah.
We'll find out next week. But yeah, so I took on 4 new clients, which was great. 3 older adults and 1 young, very hopeful swimmer at a high level. So, introducing them was to the gym and to the style of training was really good.
Yeah.
Pretty busy at the school as well. It was finals week for the kids. So they were all pretty mentally drained, and including the kids that came for training. But yeah, I'm just taking a rest now and get ready for Monday.
Nice.
Big Ken, what's new with you?
Still just training for nationals. You guys came out, did heavy logs, got up to 360, failed at 380, but
Yeah.
It was a PR, by the way, Ken. Don't forget that.
yeah.
And Nationals in Ohio.
Yep, in June.
In
so I
June,
still got
right?
some time to train for that.
And what events are you doing at?
It's log press, 325 for reps. Axle deadlift on wagon wheels, like 700 for reps.
Oh wow. Okay.
The yoke, 825, like 50 feet down and back.
It's huge.
Then there's sandbags tossed, like over a bar.
Yep.
Like 50-pound sandbags over, I think it's 40-foot bar.
Okay.
And then carry and load and drag. Just carrying 300-pound sandbags into a sled and then dragging it back.
That's awesome. That'll be fun to watch and see you go and dominate there. And if people want to follow your journey against and see what you're doing, what is your Instagram handle?
It's at big_Ken_strongman.
Everybody go ahead.
Ulice just
Go ahead and take a look and watch everything Ken's doing. And just a reminder, hopefully everyone's still listening here. If you guys have any guests you want us to have on, anybody you wants to talk to and bring on and learn their story, and then really encourage us to get to know them, let us know. Rate us at the Iron Huddle on either our podcast or Send a letter. Yeah. Stop in.
No, if you go to our website, all the contact information's on there. info@theironhuddle.com.
Or
our IG
the
account,
Instagram,
just message us.
whatever works.
Yep.
So all right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming
Thanks,
out.
man.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.